are we going to get some build presets to save so we don't have to respec if we want to switch a few different builds. Sorry, no. D3 Armory is not coming to last Epoch.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 128. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community, and if you're wondering what my little intro was, we do a live watch party every single Friday, and we now play Dev Chat Bingo, which basically means we guess what questions are going to get asked. And luckily on this week, the final question of the stream was on armories, which gave us our bingo. It is a whole lot of fun. Okay, let's jump in to the first question, and this is around progression past level 100.
Any thoughts on continuing character progression past level 100?
Good question.
So, yes, this has been kind of a weird topic for us. We had originally planned on having the factions be something that continued to level past level 100. It's like something that you need to keep doing past level 100. So like in the beta of in the closed beta for factions, you reached rank 8 around the time you reached level 100 if you were just playing exclusively on that one. And it did not have great feedback on it. So we dropped the required level to access it to be about 100, I think. So like 100 was rank 10 roughly. And it was still a lot of it takes way too long. And so it's an interesting thing. At the same time, amidst calls for continued leveling past level 100. Likely, so we don't really view level 100 as a expected milestone for many characters. It's something that does happen every once in a while, but the vast majority of characters are very unlikely to ever hit level 100. And that's a bit of a break from tradition from some games that are similar, which is sometimes a little tricky to conceptually reconcile, I guess.
The good old alt leveling question.
And doing these streams, any plans on fleshing out the alt leveling path? The dungeon progression is very fun.
He gets this question every week.
Yeah, it is unfinished. There's we need more dungeons. There's none coming in 1.1, but we do need more dungeons. Both for just having a more varied take on leveling paths, where you can say there's a dozen viable options, and depending on what type of character you're running, different ones are easier to do. I'd also still really like to address the way you access and difficulty of the first tier of dungeons. But yeah, it is something we're still looking at. The core vibe of alt leveling paths is not planned to have major changes.
Okay, if they want to stop this question forever, well, not forever, all you have to do is keep it exactly how it is, but when you jump through the dungeons, you get your idols and your passives. If they did that, nobody would complain. XP events in the future?
Thoughts about potentially having XP events in the future, for example, X% increased or weakened for a weekend or something.
It's a Diablo thing.
I'm not huge on doing things like that. I don't know. It's possible. I don't think we've talked about it or anything like that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'd be torn on it in general.
No future plans. I think that would be okay if it's 1 week left in cycle 1, and for the final week, anybody that finally jumped in late gets a 50% boost or something like that. I could see that maybe working. So I went into this stream really wanting to get this question answered. This is my question, and I did. Very happy.
Will the new Pinnacle bosses have phases, or can it be one shot? I don't know if those are mutually exclusive.
Yes, Lagon has phases.
And can be one shot.
Wait for it.
The tippy top Pinnacle Boss will have phases.
Confirmed.
But, like, I'm not gonna tell you anything else. it's gonna be a sweet fight. Where I was working on it this morning, making some new tech for it.
New tech, gonna be sweet, and will have phases. Will pets ever serve a function?
Will our pets ever gain any form of ability, or will they remain strictly cosmetic? We have no intention of ever adding mechanics to pets, to mini pets. In the event that we ever did add mechanics to the mini pets, we would everyone would get a free pet that had the same mechanics. Just in case, we would release some new pet that like every single account just got for free, just to make sure everyone had a pet. And there would be no way. This is a really important thing that every time this question gets brought up, I have to make sure it's clear. We're not going to add pay for convenience factors into the game where, say, like, hypothetically pets can pick up gold, but you can only have a pet if you pay $5 or more. No, we're not doing that.
Hard stance, no. Please, please, please make this happen.
Right. Is there plans to allow us to move tabs in the quick view window while in stash? Not specifically, but we did just make some changes that might make that possible. It's something that I really wanted to do for a long time.
So you're saying there's a chance. This sounds pretty promising. Multiplayer performance.
Will you improve multiplayer experience? Yes. As of now, it's a bit, well, awful, sorry to say. Love the game, though. Yep, we are constantly working on it. There's... I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about the stuff we're working on specifically, but we're definitely working on big changes for that. I will have some effect on overall multiplayer performance. It's hard to tell the test servers, because there's so less less of a load on them. They're naturally just a little bit faster, but our most recent test was really promising. Hey,
promising? I'll take that. Character customization.
Going to introduce some character creation. Will that also include female, male for every class? We do have plans for a character customization system, whereby you'll be able to customize the appearance of your character. We do plan on including body type as one of those options. This is not a soon thing. This is not something people are actively working on developing inside the team right now. This is going to be quite a ways out, but it is something that we are interested in doing, still planning on doing. It's not been forgotten. Gets asked every week. You won't let us forget it. It's fine. It's one of those things that, like,
it was on the bingo card.
And this is my spiel for it every time, is people either it's the most important thing in the game, or who cares type thing. And there's a few people that are like, it's a nice value add, it's good to have, but it's not a big deal if it doesn't have it. And it's one of those things where we feel like there's just other parts of the core game systems that we need to develop first.
Bingo. I'm going to stop Mike right there. It's great being able to customize your character and kind of put yourself there. Totally get it. That being said, I would still rather have more uniques, more endgame, better cycle mechanics, a finished campaign, Pinnacle Boss. Once all the game stuff is done, you can add that in, but it is not top priority. Hideouts, or at least clan areas. Yes, please.
Good day. Good day. Any plans on adding some sort of base mechanic?
Yes.
Some form, like, base mechanic, like hideout or something. And if yes, would it be customized? I'd love to get something like this in. I don't know. Pretty sweet. We've always had this sort of hesitation to make a base mechanic like a hideout, a customizable hideout system. In the fear that it will pull people out of towns too much, and everyone's isolated on their own servers. and would not really have a few other little things, but if there were a way to customize some space that you went into frequently, I don't know, it's possible. I'd say I'd love to do it. I think there's probably some way to incorporate it.
Fortunately, we have come to the final question of Dev Chat 128. Mike is going to talk about Melee and some love for Melee and the new Pinnacle Boss. Mike, as always, thank you for these Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It's always so much fun, and you are always a good sport. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. It is the best way to support into the future. Thank you to the first 130 members that have signed up. Tonight is movie night for Patreons. We're going to be doing a watch party of Beetlejuice. We have a Patreon game night coming up where we're going to be playing V Rising with their release with our own action RPG server. So many plans for the future. Patreon's the best way to support. First link in the description. I'm done. Mike, take it away.
Are we getting any Melee love anytime soon? Yeah. So we definitely have kept Melee in mind very acutely in the development of the Pinnacle Boss content. And it's like range does have a very natural advantage. And we're taking steps to mitigate that natural advantage.